Okay, guys. So here it is. I'm about to break down for you my thoughts on each division in NFL for this week's Fresh Take, and also my breakdown of who will be playing in the Super Bowl. I will not give you a Super Bowl winner, but I will give you who will be playing in the Super Bowl. So let's start out with the AFC. First, you got the AFC East: Patriots, Dolphins, Jets, Bills. All four of those teams are projected. Three of those four teams are projected to finish at 500 or slightly above 500 to slightly below 500. And the Patriots are the only one projected to win in double digits at 11-5. I can roll with this. The Patriots were my pick to win this division, so I believe that 11-5 is a very fair assessment, considering that I believe after Tom Brady comes back, I believe that they will probably be 2-2 when Brady gets back. And so, yeah, him going 9-3 to finish out the season, I believe is feasible, and him giving them a solid run into the playoffs is definitely feasible. Now, the AFC North, the ESPN has the Browns winning with the Browns, Ravens, Steelers, and Bengals. They have the Steelers and Bengals tying for winning the division at 11-5. The Ravens right behind them at 10-6, and the Browns at 1-15. I did have the Bengals or the Steelers winning this division, and the Bengals coming in second and still making the playoffs. So both of those teams, I can agree with you wholeheartedly. Next up, we'll go for the AFC South, where you have the Colts, the Jags, the Texans, and the Titans. At this point, the ESPN has the Colts at 10-6, the Texans at 9-7, the Jags at 7-9, and the Titans at 6-10. A little bit of a discrepancy in between each team, but I did have the Colts winning this division. So once again, I agree with ESPN as far as the 10-6 record as well. Last up is the AFC West. The AFC West consists of the Raiders, the Chiefs, the Broncos, and the Chargers. ESPN has the Raiders and Chiefs both going 10-6, the Broncos going 11-5, and the Chargers going 6-10. I believe that right now we have a glitch in the fact that I believe it will be the Raiders and the Chiefs to make the playoffs out of this division. But I believe the Chiefs will end up 11-5 and win the division, and the Raiders will go 10-6 and end up in a wild card spot. So just to recap, your playoff teams will be the top two seeds, Patriots and Steelers. The other playoff teams being the Chiefs, the Colts, the Raiders, and the Bengals in order. So that will give us a playoff matchup of Chiefs taking on the Bengals. And Colts taking on the Raiders. I see the Chiefs ending up getting the win over the Bengals, and the Raiders ended up getting the win over the Colts. to go to New England and setting up a matchup of a rematch of that old AFC Championship game. The Raiders will travel to New England to face New England. And the Steelers will get the Chiefs in Pittsburgh. I believe that the Patriots will be victorious again over the Raiders, and that the Chiefs will beat the Steelers, setting up a Patriots versus Chiefs AFC Championship. A matchup that I see going the Patriots' way. So I see the Patriots coming out of the AFC as the conference champions. With Tom Brady with revenge on his mind, looking to get another Super Bowl and get to 5 and be the first starting quarterback to 5. Next up is the NFC side of things. First place we're going to start is the NFC least, or NFC East as they call it, consisting of the Cowboys, the Eagles, the Giants, and the Redskins. ESPN has the Cowboys going 10-6 despite losing Tony Romo. The Redskins finishing 9-7, Giants 8-8, and the Eagles 7-9. I can see the Redskins finishing on top of this division with no Tony Romo for the Cowboys at 9-7, and maybe the Cowboys barely finishing 8-8, but tying with the Giants, and the Giants getting the tiebreaker, having beaten them and ended up getting into the playoffs. So I got the Giants and the Redskins making the playoffs out of this division. Next up, we got the NFC South featuring the Falcons, the Panthers, the Bucks, and the Saints. I have the Panthers going 12. Or ESPN has the Panthers going 12-4. The Bucks finishing 8-8, along with the Saints, and the Falcons finishing 7-9. I do believe that ESPN is correct in this one. The Panthers will be the only team to make it out of this division, and they will run away with the division at 12-4. Next up, we have the NFC North, featuring the Vikings, the Packers, the Lions, and the Bears. ESPN has the Packers finishing 13-3, the Vikings finishing 11-5, despite the loss of Teddy Bridgewater, and the Lions going 8-8, and the Bears finishing 9-7. I can see this happening and these teams making the playoffs, but I only have the Packers coming out of this division making the playoffs, despite the fact that the ESPN has the Vikings at 11-5 and making the playoffs. I have the Packers as the only team out of this division. So the NFC West is what's left, consisting of the Seahawks, the Cardinals, the Rams, and the 49ers. ESPN has the Cardinals winning the division again, going 13-3. The Seahawks right behind them at 11-5. the Rams at 8-8 and the 49ers at 4-12. Don't necessarily agree with that record for the 49ers, but most do, so I'll just kind of leave it there. I do think that the Cardinals and the Seahawks are the ones that I have coming out of this division going to the playoffs. The top, to recap for the playoffs, the top two teams we have are the Packers and the Panthers. The other playoff teams are the Cards, the Redskins, the Seahawks, and the New York Giants. Which leaves us with a playoff matchup of Cards and the Giants. And the Redskins and the Seahawks. I have the Cards winning over the Giants and the Redskins, or the Seahawks beating the Redskins, which would leave the Seahawks traveling to Green Bay to go face the Packers. And the Cards traveling to Carolina to go have their rematch with the Panthers. Where I see the Cardinals getting revenge and beating the Panthers, and the Packers being able to knock off the Seahawks again this year, and being able to advance to the NFC Championship game. So there we have an NFC Championship game matchup of Packers taking on Cardinals, and I believe this time the Packers again will cause the Cardinals to fall short of going to the Super Bowl, and we will have a Packers versus Patriots Super Bowl. I will not tell you a winner, like I said. We'll get to that once we get to the actual Super Bowl. But until then, that's been Double K. This has been my fresh take and my season preview for this upcoming NFL season. Y'all have a great day. Peace.